Hello and welcome to Handling Time with Mistletoe. So Mistletoe has been with us since Christmas. She's a wonderful, sweet, lovable, absolutely amazing little hamster. She's also very nervous though about handling, and handling hamsters is not a process that can be rushed. Anytime we get a new hamster, we always take handling time very seriously and we never rush the process. However, Mistletoe definitely is a hamster that needs to take things extra slow. In fact, we've never had a hamster take so long to adjust to handling. Once Mistletoe settled into her new home and developed her own schedules and routines, she definitely decided that she was going to take even longer with handling, because now we're working on her schedule, her terms. Everything is decided by her. So we have to take things even extra slow with her, and we just are kind of surprised because we've never had handling take so long before. But we also are more than aware that every hamster is different, and therefore every hamster will adjust at their own pace, and we're just taking it one day at a time with her and doing the best that we can. And we have very high hopes that very soon she will, adjust more to handling and be a pro at it. Mistletoe has absolutely no problem being petted. She absolutely loves to be petted. And she has allowed me to hold her. And the only real problem is going from hand to hand. And occasionally, even when holding her, she can get nervous. I think the main thing for her is the scary part, I think, is like the closing of the hand. So when you're handling a hamster and you're trying to get them to go from your one hand to your other hand, you kind of make like a circle shape with your fingers. And I think when that closes up a little bit too much for her and her face doesn't have as much opening to come through, I think that's really what makes her nervous. So I try to keep things as open as possible for her when making my attempts to handle her. However, she still is very, very nervous, and when she gets nervous, she gets very jumpy. And with a jumpy hamster, it's very, very important to make sure that you and the hamster are as low to the ground as possible. Therefore, I like to sit in the playpen with her when I am attempting handling, and that way she stays as safe as possible because she is as low to the ground as possible. Also, we like to use her hamster ball to transport her from her cage to the playpen, or the playpen to the cage, or wherever we need her to go, because that helps. I know a lot of people argue about hamster balls being safe, but even if they're not exercising in the ball, it is just a great way to transport them, for cage cleaning needs, or, whatever the needs may be. If you're allowing them to come out and play in a playpen, or whatever the case may be. So we like to use her hamster ball to do that, and it definitely has come in handy, and she's very comfortable with that. She has absolutely no problem going into her ball, unless, of course, it is a night where she does not want to come out. She does exercise in her ball sometimes, and the ball that we have for her is a very, very good one. She has no problems with it. It's safe. However, funny story, on her first time in her ball, she actually escaped. And it's shocking because I'm not really sure how she did it. It was kind of like magic. It was like really weird. She wasn't even in it that long, and she had escaped from the ball And so in a case like that, just to be on the safer side, I always put like a piece of Scotch tape on the one part of the lid that connects to the ball. So the piece of tape just kind of helps to keep the lid, attached to the ball, and therefore they can't move it. It's really amazing, though, that she was able to somehow turn it. I'm not sure how these little tiny hamsters are able to turn the lid from the inside, but like I said, it was just like kind of like magic. It was really impressive, actually. We find that to be very impressive. Anyway, though, as you can see here, I make attempt after attempt to try and scoop her up into my hands, but for the most part, she's not having it. And, it can be very frustrating at times when you're trying to handle a new hamster and you're trying to scoop them up and they're not really having it. But we just try to relax as, best as we can. And like I said, we take it one day at a time. And the best thing to do is to attempt handling as often as possible, but not to overwhelm them as well. So we only attempt this maybe once a day. And if she's up for it, there might be a day or two here and there where you attempt it twice a day, but no more than that, and no longer than about 15 to 20 minutes at a time. And for the most part, she's just roaming around in the playpen. I try to give her a break, I'll pet her for a little while, and then I won't touch her for a while. And I try not to make any sudden movements with my hands. I try to go as slow as possible so that way she's not getting spooked, because it's very important to make the process as less nerve-wracking as possible, because you have to remember that these tiny little hamsters are very nervous, and you're probably nervous as well when you're trying to handle them, especially when they're new. So it's very important to make the process for both of you as less nerve-wracking as possible. And the more calm that you stay, the more calm the hamster stays. So it's very important to remember that. Mistletoe has made great progress with handling. However, since she kind of settled into her own routine and, has everything set up in her home the way that she wants it, we are working on her terms, as I said, and it's kind of become more difficult to, attempt this process with her. On most nights, Mistletoe runs for a very long time on her wheel in her cage, so she a lot of times does not want to come out for ball time or playpen time, which also has made it more difficult to handle her, because if she's not going to come out at all, then, you can't handle her. So because she prefers to run on her wheel, it's just kind of decreased our opportunities for being able to handle her, which, like I said, makes it more difficult to get her adjusted to handling, because then we don't have as many opportunities to, do the process with her. So it's definitely taken a lot longer, and it's kind of shocking, but, we're just taking it one day at a time. I mean, that's all that you can really do. And, hamsters sometimes don't want to really be handled. And that's okay, but you have to get them used to it in case you ever need to handle them for caring reasons. Like, if you need to check their weight or trim their nails. And not that we've had too many Syrian hamsters that have needed their nails trimmed, but, that's one possibility. And, if God forbid they got sick, or, you had to give them medicine, in their old age, or whatever the case may be, there are going to be times when you do need to handle them. So they have to get adjusted to it as best as possible. So it is a very important process and really can't be missed, but, you can't rush it. So we're just trying to do it one day at a time, and I'm sure that within a few more weeks she'll be more well adjusted to handling. And we always like to allow our hamsters to feel as free as possible. So if they do not prefer handling too often, then we prefer not to handle them too often. So if that's just the way that she wants it, then that's just how we're going to have to do it. But as I said, handling a new hamster especially is not a process that can be rushed, but it is a very important process to master. So we're going to keep, trying to get her adjusted, and hopefully within a few weeks she will be well adjusted and become a pro at it. Anyway, Mistletoe is very happy in her new house and with her new family, so she's enjoying her life, and that's the important part.
Please check back for more of Mistletoe. And please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you.